Welcome to Kerala PSC Prep. Today's study notes cover British India Acts, Regulating Act 1773 to Indian Independence Act 1947, Chronological study of all major legislative acts of British India, provisions, significance, and PSC-focused comparison tables for Kerala graduate level exams. Master timeline of acts. Year. Act 1773 Regulating Act. 1784 Pitt's India Act. 1793 Charter Act 1793. Continuing master timeline of acts. 1813 Charter Act 1813. 1833 Charter Act 1833. 1853 Charter Act 1853. 1858 Government of India Act. Continuing master timeline of acts. 1861 Indian Councils Act. 1892 Indian Councils Act. 1909 Indian Councils Act, Morlemento. 1919 Government of India Act, Montagu Chelmsford. Continuing master timeline of acts. 1935 Government of India Act. 1947 Indian Independence Act. Detailed provisions. Provision. Detail. Governor General of Bengal. Warren Hastings, first holder. Supreme Court. Established at Calcutta, 1774, Sir Elijah Impey, first Chief Justice. Council of 4 members. Decisions by majority, GG had casting vote. Continuing detailed provisions. Court of Directors. Required to submit civil military revenue affairs to British government. Feature. Detail. Dual government. Board of Control, Political Affairs, plus Court of Directors, Commercial. Board of Control. 6 members including Chancellor of Exchequer and a Secretary of State. Continuing detailed provisions. Company territories. Called British possessions in India for the first time. Feature. Detail. Title change. Governor General of Bengal became Governor General of India. First holder of new title. Lord William Bentinck. Continuing detailed provisions. Centralization. All legislative powers centralized in GG Council. Law Commission. First Law Commission under Lord Macaulay. Merit clause. Discrimination based on religion, descent, color prohibited, in theory. Feature. Detail. And 45 more in the full notes at keralaprep.com. Comparison. 1919 versus 1935 Acts. Feature. Act of 1919. Diarchy. In provinces. Legislature. Bicameral at center only. Franchise. Limited, 3% voters. Continuing comparison. 1919 versus 1935 Acts. Federal Court. Not provided. Lists for subjects. Not formalized. Governors General and Viceroys, quick reference. Governor General. Period. Warren Hastings. 1773 to 85 Lord Cornwallis. 1786 to 93 Lord Wellesley. 1798 to 1805. Continuing Governors General and Viceroys, quick reference. Lord William Bentinck. 1828 to 35 Lord Dalhousie. 1848 to 56 Lord Canning. 1856 to 62 Lord Ripon. 1880 to 84. Continuing Governors General and Viceroys, quick reference. Lord Curzon. 1899 to 1905 Lord Harding. 1910 to 16 Lord Mountbatten. 1947 to 48 C. Rajgopalachari. 1948 to 50. Most asked PSC questions pattern. Question pattern. Answer. First Act to regulate EIC. Regulating Act 1773. Act that introduced separate electorate. Indian Councils Act 1909. Diarchy was introduced by GOI Act 1919. Continuing most asked PSC questions pattern. Provincial autonomy introduced by GOI Act 1935. First Indian in Viceroy's Council. S.P. Sinha, 1909. Seeds of partition sowed by Morlemento Reforms, 1909. Act that ended EIC rule. GOI Act 1858. Continuing most asked PSC questions pattern. Three lists first appeared in GOI Act 1935. Federal Court established under GOI Act 1935. Last Act of British Parliament for India. Indian Independence Act 1947. For complete notes with tables and more details, visit keralaprep.com. Take quizzes and earn mock tests. Join our Telegram channel at KeralaPrep26 for daily updates.